None of the assistants had managed to stick around for more than a month under the cold and arrogant CEO. That is, until I came along as the clumsy and stubborn new secretary. Before I dive into the story, I'd love to hear from you. Please leave a comment sharing which city you're tuning in from. And when I finish, I hope you'll take a moment to rate my story from 0 to 10. I hope you enjoy it. I'm noticing you're late and there's lipstick on your tooth. I feel the sentence hit the air like a whip. I freeze in the middle of the glass-walled room. My skirt is crooked, my resume is crumpled, and my coffee is on the verge of spilling. When I look outside, Seattle appears like a steel model. Inside, I found myself enveloped in dead silence. I sat at the head of the table, where Ethan Brooks, the CEO of Weston & Pierce, was positioned. I wore a flawless suit, my expression stone-faced. My reputation feels like a block of ice dressed in a tie. I take a breath, wipe the lipstick with my pinky as gracefully as a fender bender, and smile. I'm present, sir. The traffic, I know it all too well. I hold up the crumpled resume, but I brought my strongest skill. I find myself in a situation where survival is my only focus. I can feel the air tightening around me. I can see Sarah Mitchell, my assistant, trying to warn me with her eyes. Please, no jokes. I glance at my watch. I began the interview at 9. 9:23 isn't just traffic. It's a complete lack of organization. Or bravery. I tug at my skirt, but it doesn't budge. I decided to go anyway. A muscle twitches in my jaw. It isn't a smile. Please take a seat if possible. I sit. I feel the chair slip beneath me, and my heart races as the coffee teeters on the edge of disaster. But I manage to catch it just in time. I'm working on my motor coordination, she comments. I can feel Cole ignoring her. I clasp my hands. Why do I want to be your secretary? Secretary feels like a small word for such a massive fire. I reply, leaning on the table and ignoring Sarah Mitchell's horrified look. I pick things up quickly, and I keep my composure. It seems that most of the time, I find myself in this situation. I study the resume, my experience. I've worked at the hotel front desk, been a bookstore cashier, assisted with events, and even served as a part-time barista. I created an official life organizer for my friends. It just didn't fit on the PDF. My journey in education. I find myself immersed in the world of business administration. My work feels unfinished. I ran out of money, but not motivation. Do you have any references? There's a lot. Some still reach out to me. I swallow hard. I notice and adjust. Mr. Hartman, I realize I'm not. This desk is where I spend my time. I see her pointing to the spotless surface, but I know I'm useful. It's just that the desk isn't. I find the desk to be quite lovely. I appreciate compliments. I stifled a laugh as an analyst. I close the resume. At Weston & Pierce, I believe that punctuality reflects respect. Details are essential. When my phone rings, it's all about solving problems, not just having a chat. Are you able to keep pace? Yes, I guess no. Yet I always manage to outrun my falls. I raise an eyebrow. I need someone who runs. I conducted my research. You looked into my background? I've been attending public events, reading news articles, and chatting with my neighbors. I never miss numbers, but I do miss people. I feel the room getting colder. Who said that? I want to know. I often find myself exploring the vast expanse of the internet, and I notice the receptionist next door. I find her to be honest. That's intriguing. I rest my chin on my hand. So why did someone who runs faster than she falls show up 23 minutes late? When the subway stalled and the elevator jammed, I pushed through and kept going. I climbed the last 8 floors by stairs, and I still took a moment to fix the lipstick on my tooth. I have to admit, my prioritization has been poor. For a moment, I can see the corner of his mouth almost twitching. I decided to take a test. My inbox is where everything happens. Now I open the laptop for Quinn, feeling like I'm handing a Stradivarius violin to a cat. I take a deep breath in. I'm staring at a wall of urgent emails. I type, I'll reply at 11 a.m. I've rescheduled it to Tuesday. I've attached the checklist for you. In just a few minutes, I watch as chaos transforms into order. Those are just the basics, I say. I think it is. And I realize that no one did it. I shut the laptop. List 3 imperfections. I tend to ramble when I'm feeling anxious. I find myself fixing things that nobody even asked me to touch. I find myself placing too much trust in gravity. My strengths. I always see things through to the end. I pick things up quickly. I'm not afraid of your silence. I can feel the boldness echoing around me. It's almost like a sport in here. I lean back, weighing every word. I can't seem to keep anyone around for more than a month. I feel like I'm being compared to winter with Wi-Fi. I take risks. I find it to be quite classy. I tilt my head. Why would you choose to hire me? Perfect people tend to overlook what's on the verge of collapsing. I see. In the stillness, I find a moment of peace. Then I'm hired, he says. I cough. I'm here on a trial basis. It's been 2 weeks. I have no tolerance for tardiness. I prefer not to improvise during meetings. I'm serious. And I think of Parker. Absolutely. I need to change the lipstick. I've taken note of that. I shake his hand, feeling the chill of pure ice, and I offer a half smile that tries to be professional, but ends up failing beautifully. I'm starting today. Is it today, like right this moment? Is there another today apart from this moment? I see your point. In the hallway, I hear Sarah Mitchell whisper, "Welcome to the betting pool." Is there a betting pool? I bet on how long I'll last. I usually take about 3 days. Is it possible for me to place a bet on myself? I can't say I would recommend it. As I walk down the hall, I catch glimpses of curious eyes that appear and then quickly disappear. I can feel the eyes of the entire office on me. I feel my Slack vibrating. There's chaos with the new secretary. I arrived late and I'm still alive. I sit at the white desk outside my door. I open my notebook. It's day 1 of my survival plan. Below, you'll find a list. I raced against the clock. Watch your step and avoid tripping over cables. I delve into the language of ice. Discover the reasons behind why no one seems to last a month. I hear the phone ring. My desk, where Mr. Hartman often works. It's Quinn here, my voice. I need to reschedule my meeting. I noticed there was no cheerfulness in the emails. I get it. I noticed you still have lipstick on your tooth. I've just clicked. I run my tongue over my teeth. I have nothing to share. I could tell he just wanted to provoke me. I smile. I reorganize the schedule. I take a deep breath. And then I found myself in a moment that felt both surreal and captivating. My phone buzzes in my pocket. It's urgent. I need to speak with Cole right away, as the client is insisting on it in the midst of a crisis. I look at the closed door. It was 9:31 on the clock. And I think, temporarily is just another word for until I prove otherwise. I arrived 15 minutes early on my second day. I achieved a victory. But then Linda Carter, the receptionist, a silver-haired lady with a conspiratorial smile, interrupts my silent celebration. "Darling, there are a few things I want to share with you." I sneak into the break room corner. I open a folder, feeling like I'm about to unveil top-secret documents. Here's a list of former secretaries. It's been 15 days, 22. Chloe Evans is 3.5 weeks old. I hold the record. I lasted exactly 7 days. I didn't make it through the first day. What happened with Mia Foster? I'm really curious to know. I cried in the bathroom after he asked me if I knew how to tell time. I swallow hard. I'm curious if there's a pattern. Absolutely. I don't yell or insult. I feel like he just ignores me until I disappear. It feels like I'm slowly melting away, just like ice under the sun. It's both poetic and terrifying. But wait, there's even more. I lower my voice. I notice that no one here speaks to him unless it's strictly professional. I arrive at 7, I leave at 9 at night. I never have lunch with anyone. I don't go to happy hours. There was this one time when I tried to wish him a happy birthday, but he just asked if I had finished the reports. Was it my birthday? Mine. I close my eyes. I take a deep breath. I open them. I need to make it through the next 2 days, Linda Carter. What's my number 1 tip? Being selectively invisible. I'm here to assist you, but I won't take up space. That's an intriguing contradiction. I hear the clock strike 8:45. I rush to my desk. I'm already inside with Cole. My silhouette stands stiff against the window. I turn on the computer. I arrange my pens by color. Nervous energy has to find an outlet, and I wait. I hear the phone ringing. My desk where I work and create belongs to Mr. Hartman. It's Quinn here. "Are you just starting out?" I heard a man's voice rushing in. "It's my second day on the job, sir." "Awesome. I need to chat with Cole. I need to address this urgently. I'm James Carter, and I represent Rivera Holdings." I write down the name. That seems significant. I'll see if he's available to take your call. I don't need to check. I always can. I hesitate. I remember Linda Carter telling me not to bother Cole unless it was absolutely necessary. Yet I can't shake the feeling that this man is truly insistent about the urgency of the situation. I decide to play it safe and transfer the call. Just 3 seconds later, I see Cole opening the door. "I am Parker. What is it?" Rivera Holdings is not a real entity. I realized it was spam. I always make sure to check before transferring. I'm sorry, but he's already closed the door. I write down. I find that Google is my friend. After an hour had passed, I have a new test. I hear the phone ringing. My desk, Mr. Hartman's. Hi there, I'm excited to bring the new desk for Office 4B. I look around. I didn't order a new desk, but I can see the man downstairs in the lobby. I can feel the sweat dripping down my forehead. I'm carrying something heavy. Just a moment. I go downstairs and find an older man in overalls standing beside a beautiful mahogany desk. I'm wondering if this is the right address. Absolutely. I am Ethan Brooks. I'm on the 24th floor in Office 4B, but this is 24A. It must be a mix-up on my part. Could you please sign for it? I can't take this anymore. My back is really hurting. I look at the desk. I find it beautiful. It costs a lot. I find the man, to be honest. I sign. 20 minutes later, I step out of my office. I'm curious about the mahogany desk in my reception area. What's its story? I saw a delivery guy arrive. I said it was for you. I didn't place an order for any desk. Oh, I look at the desk with them. It shines brightly. When I think of the word imposing, it evokes a sense of grandeur and presence that cannot be ignored. It's definitely pricey. I can't believe you signed for a desk that I didn't even order, especially for a CEO who doesn't need any furniture. It felt genuine. I could see he was sweating too much for it to be a scam. I don't believe that sweat is a sign of honesty. That's a great line. Is that something I can use? I close my eyes. 1, 2, 3. I need to find out who it belongs to. Just take it away. As I call every furniture company I can find, I hear Cole talking on the phone from his office. My voice is tense. I found myself dealing with an expired contract, a penalty. I'm facing a legal issue. Curiosity might be dangerous for some, but I've always felt more like a dog than a cat. I walk toward the slightly open door. I'm talking to someone about a poorly written clause that could cost us millions. I hear the lawyer on the other end suggesting that I should accept the loss. No, there has to be a way out, I say, feeling the urgency in my voice. I knock on the door without thinking. Excuse me? I'm currently occupied. Am I right in thinking this is about the Miller and Associates contract? I cover the phone. How did you find out about that contract? I caught a glimpse of it, but I've come across similar contracts during my studies. May I take a look? I didn't finish business school. I didn't, but I spent 2 years in corporate law before I decided to switch majors. I hesitate. I hang up the phone. I pull up the contract on my screen. I step closer, completely ignoring protocol, and take a seat in his chair. I notice Cole raising an eyebrow, but he doesn't say anything against it. Here I am. I point. I notice that Clause 14B discusses extraordinary conditions, but I can't help but focus on 18C. If I can prove documented external interference, it creates an exception that cancels out 14B. Do I have emails that show Miller changed the specifications after the contract was signed? I open the email folder. I search through it. I found 3 problematic emails. This cancels the penalty, I murmur. I can still charge for the extra costs. I notice the way Cole looks at her differently. It felt like I had just solved a Rubik's Cube in 15 seconds. How did I spot that? I see contracts as puzzles. I enjoy solving puzzles. I just saved $2.8 million. Is that so? That's great. Can I return to my desk now? I still need to figure out where that mahogany desk belongs. I watch as Cole stays silent for 5 seconds. I realize I'm sitting in his chair, in his personal space, going through his confidential documents. I apologize. I stepped into your space, and my chair. It's incredibly comfortable, I must say. I am Parker. It feels like I'm about to get fired, doesn't it? I think so. I let out a sigh, get up, and walk toward the door. I am Parker. I turn around. I think you did a great job. For the rest of the day, I dive into solving the mystery of the desk. I intended it for Office 4D, not 4B. I organize meetings and answer calls, keeping everything clear and straightforward. But I can't stop thinking about the way Cole looked at me when I solved the contract issue. At 6 in the evening, as I tidy up my desk, I write in my notebook, my survival plan. It's day 2. It seems that when I break the rules, I can save millions. I never would have guessed. I look at his closed door, the lights still on inside. I heard him say, "Good job." In iceberg language, it feels like a warm embrace. I grab my bag, wave to Linda Carter, and leave. I had no idea Cole was watching me from the window. I found myself intrigued for the first time in years by someone who broke all the rules yet still managed to get everything right. It's the third day. I decide to be proactive. If I start work at 7 a.m., I probably need caffeine. A kind gesture can earn you survival points. A straightforward approach. I stop at the lobby cafe and order the most popular coffee. I like my coffee large with milk, 2 sugars, and just a touch of cinnamon. I see the barista smile. Who is this special one for? I have a boss. I'm doing my best to keep my job. Wishing you the best of luck. This coffee wins me over every time. I head upstairs in high spirits. I hold the cup like a trophy. I'm already in my office reviewing spreadsheets. I knock on the door. Good morning, Mr. Hartman. I hope you're doing well today. I brought you a cup of coffee. I look up. I see the cup. My expression changes. What is that? I love coffee. I like it large with milk, sugar, and a sprinkle of cinnamon. I heard the barista mention that it's a customer favorite. I prefer my coffee black, without any milk. My apologies. Do I prefer it without milk? I prefer my coffee without sugar. I understand. I don't have any sugar either. I prefer my coffee without cinnamon. I blink 3 times. So I'm talking about black coffee? I choose not to drink coffee. In the stillness, I find a profound sense of peace. I look at the cup as if it had just betrayed a national secret. I believe everyone drinks coffee. There's this unspoken rule in the office. I enjoy sipping green tea. I don't add any sugar. I don't have any milk. I don't want any cinnamon. I feel a lack of creativity. Why didn't I hear that yesterday? I didn't get asked yesterday. I can feel my blood pressure rising. I breathe. 1, 2, 3. I fail. I have to say, I really feel like sharing something right now. I might come across as robotic at times. I'm stuck in a suit, and I forgot to install the kindness software. I feel the room freeze. I stand slowly. I find this comparison quite intriguing. I'm grateful for your help. I give it my best shot. I find robots to be incredibly efficient. I'm always on time. I don't sit in someone else's chair. They don't offer drinks without being asked, following the unspoken rules. I know that robots don't just stumble upon $2.8 million contracts by chance. I see what you mean. I know that robots don't do anything by accident. I place the cup on my desk with a bit more force than needed. So go ahead and program my replacement. I can just imagine a robot assistant designed to make green tea, always sticking to its tasks without ever taking the initiative. I might just do that. That's fantastic. I'm going to begin drafting my resignation letter. I chose recycled paper because I care about sustainability, just like the robots do. I watch as Quinn leaves, shutting the door behind them. Not really hitting hard. It feels more like a decisive closure, with strong emphasis. In the hallway, I notice at least 6 people pretending to work, but it's obvious they're listening in. I suddenly see Linda Carter appear out of nowhere. Darling, I think everyone heard that. Is it everyone? The entire office. I accidentally turned on the speakerphone on the accounting line. I cover my face. Am I getting fired? Honestly, I don't think anyone has ever had the guts to call him a robot directly. That was daring and a bit reckless. This is the perfect combo for my resume. My desk phone rings. Quinn responds in a somber tone. My desk where I work is Mr. Hartman's. It's Quinn here. Hi, Quinn. It's Laura Bennett reaching out from Thompson Consulting. I really need to talk to Cole right away. I need to make a strategic decision by 2 p.m. Today, I find myself reflecting on the moments that shape my experiences. I'll take a look at the schedule. I see Quinn. I have a meeting at 2, but I don't have any details about it. I'm currently in a meeting with Mr. Hartman. How can I assist you today? I'm excited to share my thoughts on the Denver project. I have 2 proposals on the table. I need to remind Cole that he has to make his choice by 3 p.m. or we'll miss the deadline. I recognize that name. I saw it in the emails yesterday. I'm excited about the expansion project. It's crucial. Hey, Margaret, can I ask you something? Are the proposals focused on location or market entry strategy? Where I am. Living in downtown has its own unique charm compared to the suburbs. I remember something I read in the newspaper yesterday. I'm excited about the new subway construction in Denver. I can see the new line going right through downtown. Is Margaret one of the proposals in the financial district? Absolutely. How do I know? I have a feeling about this. I can't speak for Mr. Hartman, but I read that Denver is expanding its subway system. I'm excited to share that the new line will connect the airport to downtown by 2026. That might impact the number of people coming through. Wow, I had no idea about that. Am I sure? I noticed it in the Denver Post yesterday. Feel free to take a look. I'm going to check right now. If that's true, it changes everything for me. Thanks, Quinn. I'm glad to help. I hang up and notice Cole standing at the door watching. How long have I been there? It's just a feeling I have. Oh, Thompson Consulting? Absolutely. Let me tell you about Denver. I was told that I need to make a decision by 3 p.m. So, what did you suggest? I just want to talk about the new subway. I came across it in the paper yesterday. I watch as Cole walks over to her desk. I prepare my farewell speech. Which paper do you mean? Denver Post. Last night I found myself feeling bored, so I decided to dive into some reading about the expansion of public transportation. I found it to be quite relevant. Do I read local papers from cities where we have projects? No. I explore articles from cities that catch my interest. I found Denver to be quite interesting. I pick up my phone and call Margaret. I confirm the subway information. I thank her. I hang up. I believe that subway info holds a value of $400,000 when it comes to making strategic decisions. That's nice. I saved the project. I guess it was just luck. Experiencing it twice in just 3 days feels more like a pattern than mere luck. I don't know what to say. I watch Cole standing there as if he's trying to solve a complicated equation. I am Parker. Am I about to be let go? I think so. Was it because of the robot comment or the situation in Denver? It's all because of the coffee. I frown. I hate coffee, I continue. But I tried to be kind. That's not something you see every day around here. Is it unusually good or unusually bad? Unexpected and surprising. I find that robots really dislike unpredictability. I'm definitely not a robot. Show me the evidence. I can see Cole almost smiling. Nearly there. Join me for green tea tomorrow. I don't add any sugar. Are you telling me what to do? I'm inviting you. I blink. I don't think robots create invitations. Absolutely. The office buzzes for the rest of the day. I found myself in a heated argument with Cole. I invited Quinn for tea. I feel like no one truly understands anything, yet somehow everyone seems to agree. I broke the pattern. At my desk I write, Day 3. It seems that when I called my boss a robot, it surprisingly resulted in a tea invitation. I find Seattle to be a strange city. I look at his closed door and whisper, maybe robots can learn too. You have to go to the party, Sarah Mitchell announces on Friday, as if she's delivering some sort of bad news. Which party are you talking about? I attended the company's annual party on Saturday night. I stayed at the Fairmont Olympic Hotel. I have to attend. It's mandatory. I watch Quinn as they look at Cole through the glass door. I'm on the phone. I'm always serious. Is he going? Absolutely. I'm the boss. And I need to leave because, since I'm an employee, I'm temporary, but I'm still an employee. I let out a sigh. When I think of a corporate party, I picture myself in expensive clothes, surrounded by important people, and facing multiple opportunities for public embarrassment. Do I need to follow a dress code? I'm all about smart casual. That's about as specific as saying someone is somewhat tall. On Saturday, I walk into a downtown dress rental store. I size her up, a saleswoman named Rosa, with eyes that have seen it all. Is this your first office party? How did I know? I can see the panic in my eyes. What's my budget? Affordable, yet still stylish. I watch as Rosa disappears into the back, and soon she returns with 3 options in hand. I have a basic black dress, a conservative navy blue one, and then there's this red dress that really stands out with its own unique personality. The red one's bold, I warn Rosa. How should I make it bold? It's like everyone is going to notice me, I think. I can tell that Cole has already noticed her, but not for the right reasons. Perhaps it's time for me to be recognized for the right reasons. I choose the red one. After 2 hours, I find myself gazing into the bedroom mirror. I find the red dress beautiful, but I definitely don't think it's smart casual. It's more about showing off my confidence. The issue is, she doesn't. I find the Palmer House to be far too elegant for someone like me who still rides the subway. I arrive and immediately realize I miscalculated. All the women are wearing neutral tones. I see her, and she reminds me of a traffic light in an art museum. As I stand at the ballroom entrance, I take a deep breath and walk toward the bar. As I take 3 steps forward, my right heel catches on the edge of the door. I stumble, grabbing a curtain to steady myself, and nearly spill an entire tray of martinis on Cole, who's deep in conversation with a group of investors. It was dead silence. I now have droplets of martini on my suit and Olive perched on my shoulder. I can feel the investor's eyes on her, as if she's some kind of natural disaster unfolding before them. I'm sorry, Quinn whispers, attempting to clean his shoulder with a napkin. I see Cole looking at her. I see the red dress, her hair dancing in the wind, and the look on her face that makes me think she just wants to sink to the floor. Am I all right? I am asked. You ruined my meeting, and I can't help but wonder why you're even here. Are you all right? I'm doing well. Your suit isn't fitting well. I have more. I clear my throat. Cole, can we pick up our conversation later? Absolutely. I watch as the group disperses. I find myself alone with Cole in the middle of the room, feeling as if I've just accidentally destroyed something important. Your dress is striking, he says. I've rented it, and it seems to be inappropriate. I don't think it's inappropriate. It feels different. That's a nice way of putting it. But it really resembles a costume. What kind of costume are we talking about? I know how to dress for elegant parties. I can see the hint of a smile on Cole's face. Do you want a drink? This time, there's no dripping. I walk over to the bar. I order sparkling water. I order the same because after the coffee incident, I don't want to take any more chances. I choose not to drink alcohol, I ask. I don't attend work events. What about events that aren't related to work? All my events revolve around work. I look at him. I've got the perfect suit and my posture is just right, but there's a weariness in my eyes that betrays me. Doesn't that feel a bit lonely? For me, loneliness feels like a deeply personal experience. I appreciate the thoughtfulness behind that response. I hold the position of CEO. I find that diplomacy is essential, even with me involved. I can see Cole hesitating, especially when it's with you. Why not? I ask questions that no one else thinks to ask. I step away from the main crowd and find a quiet corner near a grand piano. I find the background music to be soft, yet it feels quite generic. Do I play? I nod to the piano as Quinn asks. I used to. Why did I stop? I grew up in a world full of experiences that shaped who I am today. Music is for everyone, not just kids. I believe my mother thought it was. I always thought of the piano as a hobby, not a career. I remember you agreeing. I remember being 12. I found myself in complete agreement with everything. I walk over to the piano and press a key. You might end up missing it. At times, is this what you mean? Absolutely. Why not, since you're inquiring? I smile. For the first time, I see Cole as truly human. Could you show me how to sing a song? Am I here? Why not give it a try? I'm at a corporate party surrounded by important clients. What does it matter? It's been 15 years since I last played. It feels even better. I have no expectations. I look around. I feel like no one is paying attention. I sit at the piano bench. I sit beside him. He guides my fingers to the keys, saying, "Place your hands here." I'm pressing lightly, just with my fingertips. I try. I notice the sound coming out louder than I expected. Gently, I say, covering her hand with mine to show her. My hand feels warm and steady. I completely lose my focus. Is this what you mean? I whisper. Absolutely perfect. I play a simple melody together with them. It's not extravagant, but it has its own beauty. Personal. What's my favorite song? I'm asked by Quinn. I don't have one. I have one. I'm unique. It's clear to me. What do you have? Anything that helps me forget how awkward I feel at formal parties. I see Cole looking at her. I saw the red dress against her fair skin. My eyes shine with a mix of nerves and bravery. I think you're doing pretty well. I'm just authentic. Is authentic code considered clumsy? Being authentic means being interesting. Just as I start to absorb the compliment, Tom Bennett from accounting shows up. I can tell I'm clearly drunk. Clearly with purpose. Quinn, I absolutely love your dress. I feel him step too close. Do you want to dance with me? I'm grateful. I'm right in the thick of a conversation. Speaking feels dull. I find dancing to be so much fun. I reach out to grab her hand. I pull back. I can see that you've had a bit too much to drink, Tom Bennett. I've reached my limit. I can feel his insistence as he leans in, trying to kiss me. I stand up with impressive speed. I am Tom Bennett. Hey, my boss. I didn't see you there. I'm here right in front of you. I should go home. Just take it easy, my friend. I simply wanted to share a dance with your secretary. I don't want to dance. How do I know? Because I heard her say no. I glance between Cole and Quinn, slowly piecing everything together. Oh, I understand now. She's my employee. Cole wraps up with a chill in his voice. I'm feeling that your behavior is inappropriate. Okay, absolutely, I can help with that. I watch as Tom Bennett walks away, but I couldn't help but mutter something about a protective boss, making sure Quinn caught every word. I'm grateful for your help. I hear her say it once we're alone. There's no need for gratitude. I believe I do. I didn't need you to step in. I certainly did. I certainly did. I did. I look her in the eyes. I have a responsibility for you. I work as an employee. I find that writing from my own perspective creates a deeper connection. I can feel the moment hanging in the air between us. I feel something shift. I realize I said more than I meant to. I should go, I say. It's me, Quinn. Absolutely. I felt that the red dress was a great choice. As I sit in the cab on my way home, I make a mental note. It's party night. I discovered that robots can play the piano, protect people, and maybe they're not as robotic as I once thought. I touch the hand he held and smile. It's Monday morning. I arrive at the office and find Cole standing at the window, staring at Seattle as if the city had done something personal to him. Good morning, Mr. Hartman. I hope you're doing well today. Is everything okay with you? I'm excited because my mother is coming for lunch today. I wait for more information. Nothing is coming. Do I think that's good? I find it catastrophic. Oh, Cole turns around and I can tell he's on the verge of making a really questionable decision. I have a strange question for you, Parker. Hey, do you know how to do origami? Or is it something unusual, like needing to hide a body? Hey, would you be willing to pretend to be my girlfriend? I choke on my own breath. Excuse me. For the past 6 months, my mother has been on a mission to set me up with the daughter of one of her friends. I'm Sophia Reynolds. I am the heiress to something significant. If I don't bring someone along today, she's definitely going to set up a dinner. So why am I the one? I'm glad you're here. And because I want to be with someone my mother would never picture me dating, I almost took that as a compliment. Will I do it? I cross my arms. What do I gain from this? I had pizza for lunch. Pizza serves as a simple bribe for my pretend CEO girlfriend and a 15% raise. Now I'm really connecting with you. I can see the relief wash over Cole's face. I have my own set of rules. I'm not looking for anything too intimate. Just pretend you enjoy my company. I can tell that's going to require some serious acting skills. That really made me laugh. Is it okay for me to ask personal questions to enhance the believability? As long as it makes sense. Can I share my thoughts on your flaws? I know you'll go ahead and do it, even if I say no. Absolutely. At 12:30, my mother arrives. I'm Margaret Wells, a 60-year-old woman who feels like I just stepped out of a home design magazine. She's flawless and intimidating, her smile not quite reaching her eyes. Colton, dear, she says, kissing the air near my cheek. Hey, Mom, I want you to meet Emma Thompson, my girlfriend. I can feel Eleanor's gaze scanning me from head to toe, as if she's evaluating whether I'm a good buy or not. Enchanted, I say, in a tone that's anything but. It's a pleasure to meet you, Mrs. Hartman, I say, shaking her hand a little too firmly. Where did we meet? I look at Cole, and it's obvious he forgot to make up that part. In the office, I find myself improvising. I found myself running behind schedule. I found him to be quite grumpy. I knew it was love at first sight. I hear Cole cough. How romantic, I can't help but think, as Eleanor's sarcasm cuts through the air, like a chill from Lake Michigan. I went to a very expensive French restaurant. I've never stepped foot in the kind of place where waiters judge my soul by my order. So I watch as Eleanor begins after ordering a wine that costs more than my rent. I'd love to share about my family. They mean the world to me, and each member has a unique role in my life. From the laughter we share to the support we give each other, my family is truly special. I live in Ohio with my parents. My dad works as a mechanic. I work at a library with my mom. We are simple people, but we find joy in the little things. How charming. I realize that when someone calls something quaint, it really means they think it's beneath them. So where did I study? Ohio State University. I didn't finish because I ran out of money, but I gained enough knowledge to start working. I nearly choke on my wine. I don't have a college degree. I hold a high school diploma and have completed several online courses. I've found that it has worked fine so far. I kick Quinn under the table. I kick back. So what do you enjoy doing in your free time? I continue. I find myself diving into books often. I enjoy cooking, even if I'm not very good at it. I find myself engrossed in true crime documentaries, and I take pride in my collection of resilient plants that thrive in my apartment. I find that really intriguing. I watch as the waiter approaches to take our orders. I hear Eleanor asking for something in French. I order salmon. I look at the menu and realize I don't understand half the words. Everything feels incomplete. I point to a random item. Is this the one? Is this the foie gras, ma'am? I hear the waiter asking. If it's food, then absolutely. I close my eyes as if I'm in actual pain. While we were having lunch, I found myself bombarding Quinn with questions about her career plans, financial goals, and long-term outlook. I answer with brutal honesty, and I can see the horror in her eyes. I'm focused on making sure I don't get fired this week, I say. My financial goal is to pay my rent and still have enough left over for pizza in the same week. My long-term outlook is about figuring out whether my son will remain an emotional iceberg or eventually thaw. I watch as Cole chokes on his water. Is that you, Quinn? I try to step in. What do you mean? I was asked. I go quiet for 30 seconds. What happened next? I can tell you really express all your thoughts, can't you? I see it as a flaw. I understand. Honestly, it's quite refreshing. I always noticed that Colton dated women who said exactly what he wanted to hear. Honestly, I struggle to say what others expect to hear. Why not ask your son? I look at Cole. Is that really true? Absolutely, I confirm. So, you still like her, huh? I glance at Quinn for a moment. I forget we're pretending, especially because of that. I tilt my head, feeling a surge of curiosity. How long have we been together? I feel a wave of panic wash over me. I hadn't agreed on that part. What about it? 3 weeks? I guess. 6. Cole makes the correction. Okay, 6. I struggle with remembering dates. I find it really difficult to lie. I observe. I gulp. Excuse me? Dear, I haven't seen my son date anyone in 2 years. Suddenly, I see him show up with a girlfriend. He clearly didn't prepare for this moment. I'm faking it. I see Cole turn pale. Mother, take a deep breath, Colton. I wholeheartedly approve. Do you approve? I find her to be authentic. I feel brave. It's obvious she's not after your money. If she were, she would have indulged in French wines before arriving here. I can't tell if that was meant as a compliment or an insult, so I'm not going to schedule dinner with Victoria. I will, Eleanor says, but it's not meant for you, for my son. I think Victoria deserves someone who is a bit more on the boring side. As we make our way back to the office, Quinn and I walk in silence for a while. Finally, she breaks the quiet and asks, is she always like that? That was me being polite. Wow, I can't believe it. I'm grateful you didn't run away when she brought up your degree. I really appreciate you being there for me when she discovered we were pretending. How did I figure it out? I suppose it's just a mother's instinct. Or maybe I'm a terrible actor. I think it's likely both. As I stand in the elevator, I hear Quinn call out, Cole? Absolutely. When you told me you liked me, especially because I speak the truth, were you pretending that as well? I look at her. In that moment, the elevator seems to close in around me. No. A what? I have nothing to share. Simply, wow. I step out as the doors slide open on my floor. I step out, but I turn back before they close. Is that you, Quinn? Absolutely. I felt you were perfect today. So I'm playing the role of a fake girlfriend? I am a real person. The doors shut behind me, and I find myself alone, grinning like an idiot. I can't help but think that pretending to date Ethan Brooks could be the riskiest thing I've ever done, because I'm beginning to feel like I'm not just pretending anymore. It was Thursday morning. I'm organizing files when I hear Cole on the phone, clearly frustrated. No, Marcus, I feel like the campaign isn't working. I'm seeing the numbers drop fast. I peek through the slightly open door. I see Cole pacing, his hair a bit messy. This indicates that the issue is quite serious. I worked with 3 different agencies. I have 3 identical proposals. There's something about timeless elegance that draws me in. I appreciate superior quality in everything I choose, and I cherish the family traditions that have shaped my appreciation for these values. Everything feels the same to me. I know the client. I've noticed that Hartwell Watches, a century-old Swiss watch company, is losing ground to smartwatches. No, I won't be canceling the contract. Cole keeps going, but I feel we need something different. I found something that truly works. I hang up and rub my temples. I knock on the door. How can I assist you? Unless I have a revolutionary idea for selling expensive watches to a generation that uses phones to check the time. No. In that moment, I find myself pausing, just like Quinn. Forget it. What was I going to say? There's nothing significant to share. Parker, I want you to know that the issue isn't with the watch itself. It's my approach. I watch as Cole sits down. Let me clarify. I see so many people trying to convince others that expensive watches are a must-have. However, they aren't. They're a true indulgence. Luxury today feels different. In what way is it different? It was once all about proving you had wealth. Now it's all about expressing my personality. I raise an eyebrow. Continue. I believe Hartwell should embrace the idea that watches aren't necessary. Turn that into a strength. I just don't understand that. It really does. Absolutely. My phone tells time. My watch reveals who I am. Or, why wear a watch when I have tech? I have art on the wall for the same reason you do. I watch her. I'm becoming increasingly interested. Are you suggesting a form of marketing that goes against traditional methods? I believe in the importance of honesty. I'm tired of fake ads. I want brands that admit reality. What would my campaign look like? I take a deep breath. I'm on the edge of my seat as she prepares to suggest something completely crazy. I love memes. Are there any memes? Memes that keep it real. Imagine a photo of me checking my phone with the caption, "When I have $1,000 watch, but still find myself looking at my phone for the time." And there I see Hartwell. Logic can be a bit overrated, don't you think? I blink 3 times. You want me to suggest a meme campaign to a client who's been around for 200 years? I'm looking for a campaign that truly resonates and gets results. Just as Cole is about to respond, the door swings open. I see James Carter, Hartwell's director, walking in with 2 executives. Cole, apologies for our delay. Shall we get started? Absolutely. I give Quinn a warning look, just like Cole does. I think she should leave. I think she should go back to her desk. I can't believe she would choose to do anything but what comes next. Is that you, Mr. Rivera? I say. Can I ask you a quick question? I look at Cole, puzzled. I'm introducing you to my assistant, Quinn. I can see that Cole is clearly nervous as he explains. Absolutely, Quinn. What's my question? I wear a smartwatch. I really do. And yet I bought a Hartwell last year? I look at Marcus, and he seems surprised. How do I know that? I did some research. Why did I buy it? Well, my dad wore Hartwell. Our family has always made it a tradition. Absolutely, I didn't buy a watch. I bought a story. I subtly gesture for Quinn to stop. I completely ignore him. I'm curious about how to sell a story to those who lack that family tradition. That's a great question, Marcus. I didn't get a response from the agencies. I'm convinced they're trying to persuade people that they need watches. Yet it seems that no one does. I embrace that. Why is that? I walk over to Cole's desk, pick up a pen, and start sketching on the back of an envelope. Imagine this campaign. I took a photo of a guy on the subway. Everyone's glued to their phones, but not him. I'm checking my watch. While I see everyone rushing into the future, I choose to embrace life with style. I lean in to see the sketch. Continue. Or this one. My phone dies. My watch doesn't. Hartwell. When I crave the freedom from the outlet, I notice the executives exchanging intrigued glances. I believe we should shift our focus from competing with technology to embracing our unique personalities. I continue. Hartwell isn't focused on time. It's all about the choices I make. Reflecting on what it means to be different in a world where everyone else seems to conform. I find that really interesting. I say, I feel a rush of excitement. I continue, and on social media, I post honest memes. I spent 3 months' salary on a watch that does the same thing as my free phone. I have no regrets. Hashtag Hartwell Logic. I can't help but burst out laughing. Absolutely brilliant. I'm aware of myself, yet I maintain a sense of elegance. Absolutely, I know people will share it because it's funny and honest, and they'll buy it because they can relate to it. I look at Cole. I find my assistant to be absolutely brilliant. I can't help but notice that Cole looks like he just swallowed a whole lemon. I've been brainstorming some creative ideas. I want this campaign. I make the decision. When will I be able to see the full proposal? It's been 1 week. I find myself responding without thinking, just like Cole does. Absolutely perfect. Once the client has left, I close the door and turn to Quinn. I just pitched an unauthorized campaign to a $10 million client. I loved it. I'm not focused on that. What's the point for me? I believe that simply pitching strategies in front of important clients isn't enough. Why not give it a try if it seems effective? Since I stop when I can't find a solid argument. Was it because I didn't think of it first? No. Is it because it breaks protocol? No, that's not going to work. So what's the reason? I let out a sigh. Now I find myself in a position where I have to promote you, and I can already hear the gossip swirling around the office. I blink. Can you help me get promoted? To my strategic assistant. I have my own office. And I want a raise. Are you kidding me? Marcus really appreciated your ideas. If I don't promote you, he will make an attempt to hire you. So, you really don't want to lose me? I can see Cole hesitating for what feels like an eternity. I can't afford to lose talent in the company. What about the company? I want to talk about the company. By late afternoon, I noticed that the news of Quinn's promotion had spread throughout the office. I watch as messages flood in on Slack. Can a secretary really transform into a strategist in just 2 weeks? I think she must have dirt on Hartman. Or genuine talent. Do I have talent? I was late on my first day. At my new desk in a small office with a window, I write, Week 3. I discovered that speaking up can actually pave the way for a promotion. Seattle never ceases to amaze me. I look out the window and see Cole in his office, on the phone, probably arranging the campaign I came up with on a whim. I still believe she has talent, despite his denial, but I already can't work without her crazy ideas. I'm starting to realize that this might be dangerous. For the two of us. It's Friday night and the clock strikes 9 p.m. I'm in the office with Quinn and Cole, and it's just the three of us as we wrap up the Hartwell campaign. I'm in my new office, surrounded by drafts and empty coffee cups. I'm in my office doing the same. Parker, my voice echoes down the hall. Could you come over here? I walk into my office and see Cole leaning on the desk, looking like he's battling something invisible. Am I all right? I'm doing well. I know he lies. It's definitely not fine. I look pale. It's those fluorescent lights. Cole, I just noticed it's 10 o'clock. I can see that the only light here comes from the lamp. I try to straighten up and wobble slightly. I have to finish the financial review. I need to go home. I really need to get to work. I need a doctor. I don't require anything. I insist. I reach for a folder. I watch as the folder slips from his hands. I think I should take a moment to sit down. I step closer and touch his forehead. I'm feeling the heat. I have a fever. I feel functional. I'm feeling a bit delirious. Join me on this journey. Where should I go? I found myself in the break room. At this moment, I find myself with no time to rest. Cole, you've been chatting with an empty folder for 5 minutes now. I look at the folder. I feel a sense of emptiness. I finally understand why the numbers didn't make sense to me. I feel Quinn grab my arm and guide me to the small break room at the end of the hallway. I see a couch, a coffee table, and a mini fridge that hasn't been touched in years. Sit, she commands. I'm definitely not a dog. I'm feeling like one. Take a seat. I can see that Cole obeys, mainly because his legs aren't functioning properly. I watch as Quinn disappears for a moment, only to return with a glass of water and 2 ibuprofen she discovered in the reception drawer. Here, take these. I avoid taking random pills. It's just ibuprofen, nothing experimental. I take them. I swallow the pills because arguing would take energy I don't have. It's time to lie down. I'm definitely not lying on the office couch. I can see that you have a high fever, Cole. It's 10 at night and it's just the two of us in this moment. I can either lie down on the couch or just pass out on the floor. Select. I think it over and choose the couch. I watch as Quinn disappears for a moment, only to return with a wet towel in hand. What am I doing? I'm here to take care of you. My virus-infected robot? I'm definitely not a robot. Robots also deny they're robots, she says, placing the towel on his forehead. I close my eyes. The towel is cold against my skin, but I can't help but enjoy the sensation. You don't have to stay, he murmurs. Absolutely, I do. I might faint and hit my head. I never faint. I believe anyone can faint. It's something we all do naturally. I lack basic body functions. That really clarifies things for me. I sit in the chair next to the couch. I notice that Cole looks smaller when he's lying down, somehow less intimidating. Endless vein, Arby. She asked me when the last time I was sick was. I can't recall. I remember the last time I was sick. I rarely get sick. This theory is clearly flawed. I open my eyes and look at her. Why am I being kind? Because I'm in pain. I don't experience suffering. I can see it in your eyes, Cole. You have a fever and it's making you delirious. Let's be real, you're not superhuman. In the stillness, I find myself enveloped by silence. There were times when I was sick and my mother just didn't take care of me. I raise an eyebrow. Feverish Cole seems to be the honest one. Why not give it a try? I heard her say that illness was a lack of discipline. When I got sick, I realized it was due to my lack of proper self-care. I can't believe how awful that is. I'm finding it practical. I discovered that I can't depend on anyone but myself. Or I learned never to admit when I need help. I closed my eyes again. At the age of 8, I found myself with a broken arm after taking a tumble from my bike. I waited until dinner to tell her because I was sure she'd blame me for it. So did she? I should have been more careful, she said. I feel a tightness in my chest. I am Cole. When I got sick at boarding school, I found myself heading to the infirmary all by myself. I never received a call from them at home. I found it to be better that way. How old was I? I was 12 when I went. I was 16 when I left. I spent my entire teenage years away from home. Home was not where I wanted to be. I can feel the fever lowering all my defenses. I realize I'm seeing a side of Cole that probably no one else has. Is that why I don't like depending on others? Relying on others makes me feel exposed. Vulnerability feels like a weakness. Who showed you that? My life. I wet the towel again and place it back on my forehead. My life felt wrong. I didn't find it to be that way. Just take a look at where my independence has led me. I found myself on an office couch, feverish and alone on a Friday night, pretending that I didn't need anyone. I opened my eyes. And yet I find you here. I exist. Why do I feel this way? I believe that everyone deserves someone to care for them when they're sick. Even robots infected by viruses, especially robots infected by viruses. I watch her in the dark. My eyes are kind, my hands are gentle. I'm grateful she's here even when she doesn't have to be. Is that you, Quinn? Absolutely, I'm grateful. I'm glad to help. I reach out. I hesitate for a second, then intertwine my fingers with his. My hand feels too warm from the fever, yet it remains steady. My hand is small, he says. I have big hands, we fit together. My heart races. I find myself surrounded by darkness. I'm alone. I'm holding her hand like it's an anchor. Cole, what is it? I know you'll be okay. How do I know? I'm here to take care of you. I slowly sit up on the couch. I'm really close to them. I can feel the heat of the fever coursing through me. I can see his eyes shining in the dark. Is that you, Quinn? I hear him whisper. What do you mean? I'm the first person who... I stop. Who is what? Who decided to stick around? I can feel the moment lingering between us. I lean slightly forward. I don't pull away. I can feel the distance narrowing. I'm just inches away when Cole suddenly halts. Cole, you're being kind to me while I'm feeling unwell. I can't believe this is happening. How do I know? When I improve, I'll return to being the cold boss, and you'll revert to being the employee who drives me up the wall. What if we choose not to go back? I feel Cole let go of my hand and pull away. I always go back. I feel like I've been punched in the stomach. Maybe I'm right, I say, standing up. I wonder if dependence truly equates to vulnerability. Is that you, Quinn? I'm going to grab some more water. I watch her leave the room before I can say anything else. I lean against the wall in the hallway and take a deep breath. For a moment, I had let all my walls down. For a moment, I saw who Cole really was beneath all the armor. And then I put the armor back on. In the end, I realized that robots with viruses are still just robots, even when I desperately need someone to take care of me. As I walk into the office on Monday morning, I can't shake the feeling that something has changed. When she walks by, all conversations come to a halt. I can feel the strange looks following me to my office. I see Linda Carter arrive, her expression as if she's walking into a funeral. Hey, love, we need to have a conversation. What are we discussing? I need to let you know that the board wants to speak with you. Now I feel my stomach drop. What about the board? Why not? I heard that someone had an issue with my promotion. I heard them say it was irregular. How is it irregular? I can't help but think that she must be sleeping with the boss. I close my eyes. Who said that? I want to know. It doesn't matter to me. What matters to me is that they want answers. 15 minutes later, I find myself in the conference room, facing 5 men in suits and one stern-looking woman. I see Cole seated at the head of the table, his face completely expressionless. I watch as Robert Hayes, the chairman, opens a folder. I'm here to talk about some irregularities in my hiring and promotion, Ms. Parker. What type of irregularities are we talking about? I was hired without relevant experience, promoted within 3 weeks, and I seem to have unusual access to Mr. Hartman. I look at Cole. I avoid her gaze. I have a professional connection with Mr. Hartman. Is it really? I consult some notes. I've seen you together at social events. I've heard rumors about a personal relationship. I attended a company event. We had to do it as employees. What about the lunch with his mother? I feel the blood drain from my face. I saw. I found myself in a specific situation. What type of situation are we talking about? I find Cole's silence striking. I realize he's not going to help me. A personal situation that doesn't impact my work. I notice Miss Parker, the woman on the board, as Dr. Angela Liu leans forward. I found your ideas for Hartwell to be impressive, but I've noticed that some employees are questioning whether you came up with them independently. I feel like I've been slapped. Excuse me? Mr. Hartman might have influenced your contributions. Was I guided? Or were those ideas truly his, conveyed through me? I look around the table. I can't shake the feeling that everyone thinks she's a fraud. Are you implying that I lack the ability to generate my own ideas? I believe your rise was unusually fast. I turn to Cole. Am I going to say anything? I look her in the eyes for the first time. I understand that the board has legitimate concerns about protocol. I feel like the floor has dropped out from under me. What's the protocol? I believe promotions should follow established procedures. What about the ideas? Are you really going to claim they were mine? I can see Cole hesitating for 2 seconds too long. I develop the ideas collaboratively. I stand up so quickly that my chair almost tips over. Working together? I'm trying to calm things down, Miss Parker. I appreciate your contribution, and it's clear that no one is questioning it. No, I'm cutting him off. I'm feeling questioned about my competence, my integrity, and my ability. My boss looks at Cole and nods in agreement with you. It's me, Quinn. I start with Cole. No, I'm finished. I turn to the board. Are you curious if I got the promotion? Do you really want to know if those ideas came from me? Let me share my response with you. It just doesn't matter to me anymore. I reach into my bag and pull out a piece of paper. I am writing to formally resign from my position. I place the paper on the table, effective immediately. Just to clarify, all the ideas came from me. The Hartwell campaign emerged from a spontaneous conversation sparked by my CEO's desperation. It seems that acknowledging contributions isn't really part of this company's approach. I see Morrison trying to step in. Maybe we can, Miss Parker. You can't, Quinn says, grabbing her things. Good luck finding someone else who can solve your problems while you wonder if she even deserves to be here. I watch as she turns one last time to Cole at the door. And she says, my voice shaking with anger. I trust that your valuable protocols provide you with comfort during the night. I slam the door on my way out. As I stand in the hallway, I notice everyone in the office pretending to work while she collects her things. In just 5 minutes, I find her drawers completely empty. I see Linda Carter, her eyes brimming with tears. My dear, it's okay, Linda Carter. I knew it was only a matter of time. No, it definitely wasn't. I see your talent shining through. Having talent alone isn't sufficient if you don't embody the right qualities. I pick up the box with my things and walk toward the elevator. I can feel half the office watching me. I can hear the other half whispering. As I stand at reception, I pause and glance up at the floor above, wondering if Cole is still caught up in that meeting. Goodbye, robot, I whisper. I found it to be almost fun. I watch as the elevator doors close. I can't believe Quinn is gone. As I sit upstairs, I watch Cole wrap up the meeting in just 5 minutes. I'm pleased to say that the board is satisfied. I have preserved the protocols, I've restored order. I return to my office and see Quinn's empty desk through the glass door. For some reason, I feel like the office has gotten smaller. It's Tuesday. I arrive at 7 in the morning, just like I always do. But today feels different. There's no one here to organize my schedule, no one to screen my calls, and certainly no one to throw out those sarcastic comments about my personality that I've grown accustomed to hearing. I try to work as usual. I last 2 hours. Linda Carter, I'm looking for a new assistant. I'm on it, sir. I'm looking for candidates who have a strong personality. Do I remind you of Quinn? I'm not like Quinn. Simply, I feel competent. I get it. On Wednesday, I interview 5 candidates. They are all perfectly qualified, very polite, and completely unremarkable. I'm curious if the next candidate has experience with ad campaigns. I ask Linda Carter. I have 15 years of experience. And personality. How do I define personality? Forget it. On Thursday, I yelled at 3 employees, canceled 2 meetings, and had a report redone 6 times. I hear Tom Bennett from accounting making comments in the elevator. I found him to be more pleasant when Quinn was around. I realized that I was the problem. Was she? Now he feels like an iceberg, just radiating a bad mood. On Friday, I find myself in the conference room reviewing resumes for potential assistants. I'm truly impressed by all of them. Everyone is qualified. Everything makes me want to take a nap. I hear a knock on the door. It's Linda Carter. Excuse me, sir? I'm excited to share that the Hartwell campaign has officially launched today. So what? I'm seeing it go viral. I can't believe it. 3 million views in just 6 hours. I turn on my computer. I can't believe how many Hartwell memes are popping up everywhere. I've noticed that Hartwell logic is trending. I've seen online sales increase by 40%. I'm getting a call from James Carter. I can confidently say that the campaign is an absolute success. I think my assistant is a genius. I used to be an assistant. Previously? Why is that? Matters that are internal. What internal matters could possibly hold more value than that kind of talent? I have no answer. After I hung up, I stayed in the room alone, looking out at Seattle. I saved 3 contracts, created a viral campaign, brought energy into a lifeless office, and yet he let the board destroy me because he didn't have the courage to stand up for me. Admitting I needed her would mean acknowledging my own vulnerability. Robots definitely don't show vulnerability, but now I'm starting to realize that maybe being vulnerable isn't a sign of weakness. Perhaps it's simply about being truthful. I just lost the only person who had the courage to be honest with me. I pick up the phone to call Quinn, but then I hesitate and put it down. I realize that robots lack the ability to apologize. I haven't done it yet. On Saturday morning, I find myself in the empty office, having spent 3 hours pretending to work. In reality, I'm just Googling how to apologize to someone I've deeply hurt. I find the results to be quite discouraging. I see Linda Carter arriving at 9. It seems that I end up working Saturdays whenever my boss is going through an existential crisis. What are you doing here, Mr. Hartman? I'm working. Which project are you referring to? I look at the screen. I find myself on a page titled 5 Steps to a Sincere Apology, Conducting Market Research. I feel Linda Carter coming closer as she reads over my shoulder. Here are 5 steps I take to offer a sincere apology. I found the market research to be quite interesting. I shut the laptop. Linda Carter, I have to track down Quinn. Why should I do that? I need to take care of some unfinished matters. Unfinished matters, or did I realize I made the biggest mistake of my professional life? I see Cole looking at her. I prefer both options. I'm at a charity event today. I remember the Pioneer Square Community Hub fondly. I want to share my experiences with rescued animals. Each one has a unique story that touches my heart. Their journeys often begin in difficult circumstances, but witnessing their transformation is truly inspiring. I feel a deep connection with them, and every moment spent with these animals brings joy and fulfillment to my life. How do I know that? Unlike you, I make it a point to stay connected with those who have left the company for unjust reasons. An hour later, I find myself standing in front of a flower shop, clutching the most expensive bouquet they had, rehearsing my speech in my mind. Quinn, I was such an idiot, I muttered to my car's rearview mirror. No, that's too informal. I made a serious error in judgment, Quinn. Improved. I arrive at the community center and quickly realize I'm totally out of place. I find myself at an outdoor event, surrounded by families, with kids running around, and a variety of animals all around me. I see Cole dressed in a suit and clutching a bouquet of red roses, and he honestly looks like an alien who has landed in the wrong place. How can I assist you? I ask as a volunteer. I'm on the hunt for Emma Thompson. Oh, Quinn, I'm out back, in the rescued pig pen. Are we talking about pigs? I have always had a special place in my heart for pets. They bring joy and companionship into my life, and I cherish every moment spent with them. I see people abandon them when they realize they grow up. I walk toward the back, rehearsing my speech. I need to talk to you, Quinn. I really messed up. I stop when I see Quinn. I'm sitting on the grass, wearing my jeans and a t-shirt, holding a small pink pig in my lap. My hair's in a messy ponytail, my hands are dirty, and I'm laughing at something a child just said. I see her looking happy. I watch as Cole walks closer, almost like he's approaching a startled animal. Is that you, Quinn? I look up and my expression changes instantly. What am I doing here? I find that writing in the first person creates a more engaging experience for the reader. It allows me to share my thoughts and feelings directly, making the narrative feel more personal and relatable. This perspective draws the audience in, inviting them to connect with my story on a deeper level. I glance at the pig. I need to talk to you. I don't have anything to say. Absolutely, there is. I picked out some beautiful flowers. I look at the bouquet as if it's evidence in a crime scene. Flowers can't mend the pain of public humiliation. I understand, but I see them as a beginning. I watch as the little pig suddenly grunts loudly, attempting to leap off my lap. I hold him firmly. Easy, Hamlet, I say to the pig. I name the pig Hamlet. There's a certain twist to it. I rescued him from a butcher shop. I'm not sure how to process that information. Let me tell you about what happened in the meeting, Quinn. Stop, she interrupts, rising to her feet while still cradling Hamlet. I had my chance to speak. I chose to stay silent. I was making an effort to shield. I was protecting myself. I hear Hamlet grunt loudly again as he struggles. I try to calm him, but he slips away from me. Grab him, I shout. I instinctively reach out. Hamlet comes soaring right into my arms. What unfolds next feels like a cascade of dominoes tumbling one after another. I catch the pig, but Hamlet isn't fond of strangers. I squirm violently. I stumble backward, doing my best not to drop the animal. I step on a garden hose. My foot slips. I fall backward into a pile of hay, still holding Hamlet, who now squeals like he's being kidnapped. I watch as the bouquet soars through the air, landing right on a nearby goat's head. To my surprise, it begins munching on the roses. I'm watching my 6-year-old film everything with my phone. Mom, check this out. I see a man in a suit fighting with Hamlet. I lie in the hay, Hamlet perched on my chest, eyeing me with suspicion. Straw spills from my mouth as I attempt to speak. I watch as Quinn spits out hay. Let me explain. I fold my arms, trying not to laugh. I'm ready, let's do this. I slowly sit up. I watch as Hamlet hops off my chest, eager to search for food. I felt like a coward. I'm ready. Let's continue. During the meeting when they questioned you, I realized I should have stood up for you. Absolutely, I should have. Yet I felt a wave of fear wash over me. What are you referring to? I pull hay from my hair. I have to admit, you're better at this than I initially thought. I admit that I need you. I admit that. I pause. What am I admitting? I think I might have feelings for you that go beyond just being professional. I blink. What do you mean by that? I stand up, still brushing hay off my clothes. I feel a sense of admiration. Respect is essential. And other things I can't quite put into words because I'm emotionally lost. What else is there? Quinn, when you left, I felt the office become, nothing fills this space. It's more than just being less efficient. I'm feeling empty. Continue. I had the opportunity to interview 15 candidates. It seems perfect on paper. Everything made me want to hibernate. I lean against the fence, waiting. Then I came to understand that it wasn't only your skills I longed for. It was me. I can't help but notice your sarcastic comments. You managed to annoy and impress me at the same time. I appreciate your courage to treat me like a human being, especially when everyone else only sees the boss. Is that you, Quinn? I want you back, he says, stepping closer to her. Not merely as someone who works here. I really want you on my team and in my life. What do I mean in my life? I really have no idea. It's like being called a robot when I know I deserve better. I'm the one who brings the wrong coffee but still manages to save the deals. I want someone who holds my hand when I'm sick and stays by my side when I'm feeling vulnerable. I look at him. My hair is a tangled mess from the hay. My suit is wrinkled. I've never seen an expression so sincere. So what am I exactly offering? I believe in second chances. For me and you. What about the board? I can adjust the rules of the board. I will return as an external consultant. With better pay, I have full autonomy, and no one questions my qualifications. And for me, I hesitate. For me, I'm curious if you'd be open to having dinner with me. This time it's the real deal. I didn't stage any for my mom. I see Quinn smile for the first time since he arrived. There's just one condition. What do I think it is? I can't wait for you to meet all the animals here. Hamlet is included. I watch as the pig chews on one of my roses. Is that something we can negotiate? No. Then I gladly accept. I hold out my hand. Welcome to my world. I'm Ethan Brooks. I'm ready to dive into some chaos. I shake her hand. I have always been with you. It's Monday morning. I return to the office as an external consultant, settling into a new desk with a shiny new computer, and I can't help but notice the envious glances from the accounting department at my impressive contract. I feel like I'm stepping into an official event as Cole greets me at the front desk. I'm glad to see you again, Parker. I appreciate you having me back, Hartman. As a consultant, I fully encourage you to disagree with me. I've always done that. It's official now. I can feel the eyes of the entire office on me. I see some people looking pleased. I feel confused by others. I overheard Tom Bennett from accounting whispering to someone, and it felt like they were conversing like polite robots. That's strange, the other person responds. I preferred it when they argued. 2 weeks later, I find myself working with Cole on the biggest campaign in the company's history. I want to give Peterson Industries a complete image overhaul. My budget is set at $5 million. I find myself in Cole's office, surrounded by papers, charts, and 3 empty coffee cups. She says the traditional approach won't work. I create industrial products at Peterson. It just doesn't have that spark to catch on. Not everything needs to go viral, I say, glancing at the numbers. I believe everything should be interesting. Screws just don't capture my interest. I believe screws hold the world together. I really think that slogan is terrible. I look up. Do I have a better one? I have a few. I know you'll end up hating all of them. I'll give it a shot regardless. I take a deep breath. At Peterson, I create the solutions that ensure your things operate seamlessly. It's not specific enough. When I don't want things falling apart, I use our products. That's a bit too direct. I've been holding my life together for 50 years. I stopped writing. I think that one's really good. I can sense your surprise. You never cease to amaze me. Is it positive or negative? Great. I definitely think it's good. I work in silence for an hour. I can feel the strange tension in the room. It's decent, but it doesn't quite hit the mark for professionalism. Cole Quinn suddenly says, "Yes? Why did you bring me back?" I know I'm good at what I do. Is that all there is? I stop writing. Why am I being asked? Sometimes I catch you looking at me in a way that leaves me puzzled. I'm more than just a consultant. I am more than a consultant. What do I mean? He hesitates. It's difficult for me to put into words. Give it a shot. I stand and walk to the window. You push me to my limits. I feel like everyone here either shares my views or is too intimidated to voice a different opinion. You disagree with me because you believe I'm mistaken. Is that really a good thing? I find it refreshing. I stand too. Cole, I have something I need to ask you. What do you mean? At the fundraiser, when you told me you wanted me in your life, what did that really mean for me? I turn to her. It means that I pause. Working with you feels unique compared to anyone else. In what way is it different? I really look forward to seeing you walk in each morning. Your crazy ideas really make my day more interesting. Different, like what exactly? I really want to kiss you right now. In the stillness, I find a profound sense of peace. I blink 3 times. Do you want to kiss me? For weeks, I found myself immersed in thoughts. Why didn't I say anything? Because I struggle with expressing my feelings. I already knew that. I stare at them, and they stare back at me. I feel the space between us, and it seems both enormous and minuscule at the same time. Is that you, Quinn? I hear Cole whispering. What is it? Can I? Instead of answering, I feel Quinn stepping closer. If you don't kiss me now, I might just think you're a coward. I know Cole doesn't need more encouragement. I pull her close and kiss her. I can feel the kiss building up from weeks of tension. It starts off gentle, but then it builds in intensity. I feel like I've been waiting for this without even realizing it. As we pull apart, I look at you like I've just discovered something important. That was my experience. I start surprising. Cole wraps up. Was it a good surprise or a bad one? Great. I think it's very good. Before I can process what just happened, my phone rings. It's Hartman and Vale. This is Cole speaking. I can see him answering, his gaze still fixed on Quinn. My expression changes. When is it happening? I understand. Absolutely, I get how urgent this is. I hang up. What do I think it is? I ask Quinn. I work at Peterson Industries. I've just been informed that there's an emergency meeting in 2 hours. I can feel the main investors questioning our proposal. Are we heading out together? I can't make it. I have a family emergency. I'm sitting here, thinking about my mom being in the hospital. I'm wondering if she's okay. It was just a fall. I don't want to make a big deal out of it, but I really have to leave. So, we'll just reschedule. I can't. If I miss this meeting, I lose the contract. I can see where this is going. Are you really asking me to go by myself? I trust you know the campaign better than I do. I came up with the approach. Cole, I have $5 million here, and important investors. I have faith in you. How can you trust me? I just kissed you, and I'm not even sure how I feel about that. I truly understand my feelings. How do I do that? I'm in love. I'm confident you'll do great in that meeting. I find myself speechless for a few seconds. Did I just hear you say you're in love? I certainly did. Are you planning to present by yourself? I will. When you return, I want to discuss that statement with you. Agreed. 3 hours later, I find myself at Peterson Industries, standing before 8 executives and 4 investors, ready to present. I'm nervous, but I'm prepared. I think the presentation is flawless. I explain every concept, answer every question, and even make the numbers sound interesting. I stand outside the room, watching through the window. I just got back from the hospital 20 minutes ago and couldn't resist checking in. I see Quinn shining. I feel a strong sense of confidence. Intelligent. I find that writing in the first person creates a deeper connection with the reader. It draws them in and makes the experience more relatable and engaging. I remember when she was the clumsy assistant who always arrived late, but that's not who she is anymore. I'm a skilled professional closing the year's biggest deal. I'm impressed with her skills, a voice calls out from behind him. I turn to face Cole. I'm James Carter from Hartwell. I am. I agree with Cole. I find her exceptional. Am I going to marry her? How do I know that? Wow, I can see the way you're gazing at her. It's as if she's the 8th wonder of the world. I see Cole smile. Perhaps she is. Then I better marry her soon. I know women like that don't stay single for long. I finish the presentation in the room. As I hear the applause, it fills me with a sense of accomplishment and joy. I smile. When I think about handshakes, I feel a sense of connection and warmth. It's that moment when our hands meet, and I can almost feel the energy passing between us. Each handshake tells a story, a greeting, or a farewell, and I cherish those brief encounters that can leave a lasting impression. I close the deal. As I step out, I see Cole waiting in the hallway. How did it go for me? I can tell he asks, already knowing the answer. I closed it. 5 million. I always believed you could do it. How did I know? Because I think you're amazing. I finally understood something. What do you mean? I need you for more than just your role as an employee or a consultant. I really want you by my side as a partner, in all aspects. I smile. What does everything include? I'm focused on the life I want to create. It felt like I was making an official declaration. I made an official declaration, then kissed me once more. I don't need to ask Cole twice. It was Friday night. I stand in front of the bathroom mirror, changing clothes for the 4th time. I was really invited to dinner by Cole. My exact words. The issue is, she has no idea what for real actually means. What's the date? What about business? Can we discuss the kiss? Let's discuss how to act like that kiss never took place. I choose the blue dress. Chic, yet effortlessly so. I chose a small and cozy restaurant where candles flicker on every table. This is definitely not a business meeting. I arrive first and feel a wave of nerves wash over me as I wait. When Cole shows up in a dress shirt without a tie, I can see that he's nervous too. Hi, I say as I sit down. Hello. In the stillness, I find a profound sense of peace. I see the waiter approaching. Good evening. Do you want to take a look at the wine list? I look at Cole, and he looks back at me. The water is fine, I hear Quinn say. Cole agrees with me as well. I watch as the waiter jots it down, clearly puzzled by the idea of only serving water in such an upscale setting. Silence is what I crave. I think this is a nice restaurant, Quinn says. Absolutely, I came across some great reviews. Oh, absolutely, they examine the menu as if it's a legal contract. Everything looks good, I hear Quinn say. I think it's very good. It's tough to make a decision. It's quite challenging. I see the waiter coming back. I'm ready to order, Quinn says quickly. Me too, Cole says. Do we both want salmon? Absolutely. Did I prepare it the same way? I glanced at Cole, and we both realized we hadn't even read how the salmon was cooked. Surprise from the chef. I find myself improvising like Cole does. I watch as the waiter takes note and walks away, and I can't help but wonder if he's questioning his life choices. So, I hear Quinn saying, Cole repeats, how's my mother? All right. I felt a rush of fear, but it was just a scare. I slipped in the bathroom. I'm relieved it wasn't serious. Absolutely, I'm so relieved. Once more, silence envelops me. I take a sip of water. I do the same. I see them as if they are 2 people meeting for the first time. I am Cole. Finally, I say, what is it? Why are we behaving like we don't know each other? I'm not sure. I've known you for months. I work together with them every day. Yesterday you kissed me, I recall. Why does this remind me of a high school first date? I see Cole smile for the first time since he arrived. Because this could be our first real date. Absolutely. I watch as the salmon arrives. It looks beautiful, but I notice neither of them seems hungry. I push the food around with my fork, just like Quinn Cole does. What is it? I have something to share with you. What do you mean? I'm not sure what I'm doing, Quinn laughs. How so? In every way. I understand work all too well. I get business. But this, I point between us, I really don't know. This is what? Whatever is going on between us. I set my fork down. Cole, can I ask you something straightforward? Absolutely. What do you want from me? I notice Cole stop fiddling with his food and look her in the eye. To be honest? To be honest. Every one of you, I frown slightly. What do you mean by all of me? I don't have a work contract with you. I don't have my ID badge. I don't have any office walls. It's just me. What would I do in your life without a contract, badge, or walls? I hesitate. You would belong to me, and I would belong to you. My heart races. Cole, is that what you're saying? I fell in love with you. Absolutely. I find myself at a loss, as I've never experienced falling in love with anyone before. Not at all? I don't think so. I've been in relationships, but they always felt convenient and safe. With me, it's different. In what way is it different? I want to wake up next to you every day. I want to hear your crazy ideas for the rest of my life. I want to be different, to annoy you and be annoyed by you until we're old. I stay silent for a long moment. Cole? Finally, she says. What is it? I also fell in love with you. I hold my breath for 2 seconds as Cole stops breathing. Seriously? Honestly, but I feel scared. What are you referring to? I realize that I don't truly understand how to love. What do I mean? I choose my words carefully. I've spent my whole life protecting myself. I'm building walls. I find myself keeping people at a distance. How can I be sure you won't treat me the same way? I take it in. I can't be sure, I finally hear him say. I appreciate your straightforwardness. But I continue. I can't help but wonder if you'll stick around once you truly see how complicated I am. Tiche. Then I think, as Cole leans forward, we might just learn together. What should I learn? Learning to love someone without fear can be a transformative experience. Trusting without guarantees can be challenging. How can I be vulnerable without hiding? I smile. I'm feeling a bit scared by that. It really does. Yet it feels right to me. How do I know? For the first time in my life, I find myself more afraid of losing someone than of facing pain. I reach across the table. I link my fingers with hers. Then I say, let's try. Even though I lack emotional experience, even though I'm emotionally inexperienced, even if I find you unpredictable and stubborn, hey, I feel really determined. I'm stubborn. All right, I admit it, I can be a bit stubborn. I see Cole smile. Is that you, Quinn? Absolutely. If I'm going to do this, I want to make sure I do it right. What does that mean for me? Next time you crave coffee in the morning, I'll be the one to make it for you. It's not the other way around. I don't even like coffee. However, I do. I really like you. I found it to be almost poetic. I'm not going to push it. I laugh. Cole? Absolutely, I believe I will really enjoy sharing my insights on feelings with you. I believe I'm going to really enjoy this learning experience, even though I can be a tough teacher. That's particularly true for me. We finished dinner talking about everything and nothing. Let me share my thoughts on my plans, fears, dreams, and those little habits that can be quite annoying. As I step out of the restaurant, I notice Cole pausing. Is that you, Quinn? What is it? Would you like me to take you home? I can. Can I give you a goodnight kiss at the door? I can. Can I give you a call tomorrow just to chat, not about work? I can. I really think you should. Agreed. At my apartment door, I keep my promise. I kiss her slowly, as if we have all the time in the world. Cole? As we pull apart, I whisper softly. What is it? I believe we're going to make it. What should I make? I've learned to love without fear. I feel the same way, even if it takes me time. It can be particularly challenging when it requires patience. It takes time for the best things to reach perfection. How do I know? I learned that from you. I smile and go inside. I left Cole standing in the hallway. I'm smiling like a man in love, because that's precisely who he is. For the first time in my life, I feel completely happy being foolish. A year has passed. I'm at my new desk in my new department, where a sign on the door proudly declares my title, Director of Creativity and Controlled Chaos. I'm not officially Emma Thompson Hartman yet, but I've been practicing my signature. I came up with the idea for the sign. I thought it was ridiculous. I found Cole's assessment to be accurate. Now I love it. I can feel the excitement in the office as tonight is the company's annual gala. I'm at the Waldorf Astoria, Seattle this time. I had the opportunity to engage with our most important clients, interact with the press, and even hear an official speech from our CEO. I was wrapping up the presentation of the year's results when Cole walked in through the door. "Are you prepared to witness me embarrass the whole company?" I am asked. I can't be embarrassed. I can't see how that's possible. Are you up for a wager? I always do. I feel nervous. I can tell because I'm fiddling with the button on my jacket. I've learned to recognize a habit. "Is everything all right with you?" I ask. "I'm perfectly fine." I can feel the sweat Tom Bennettling down my forehead. I'm not sweating at all. I feel like I'm glowing. I don't glow. I sweat. I glow with refinement. I laugh and step closer, fixing my tie. It's simply a speech. I've done 1,000. Yeah, it's just a speech. But I can't help but notice that Cole doesn't mention the small velvet box in his jacket pocket that he bought 3 months ago. And that's been weighing on my mind ever since. 2 hours later, I find the Drake bustling with important people, all dressed in their finest formal wear. I'm sitting at a table near the stage with Linda Carter and some of my colleagues. I see Cole at the head table, looking comfortable, but I can tell she knows the signs. I feel his nervousness. I step onto the stage as the master of ceremonies. "Hey everyone, I'm excited to introduce you to the CEO of Weston & Pierce, Ethan Brooks." As I hear the applause, it fills me with a sense of accomplishment and joy. I watch as Cole walks up, adjusts the microphone, and smiles at the audience. "Good evening. I'm grateful for your presence as we celebrate another exceptional year at Weston & Pierce." I settle into my chair. I love watching Cole speak in public. I see him looking confident and charming. "This year has been special for me for many reasons," I continue. "I grew by 40%. I closed record-breaking deals. I discovered that sometimes innovation emerges from the most unexpected places." I look directly at Quinn. "A year ago, I brought someone on board who showed up late to her interview, took a seat in my chair without asking, and referred to me as a robot with software issues." I could hear the laughter from the audience. I cover my face, feeling embarrassed. I transformed our creative approach, saved deals that seemed lost, and learned that sometimes the best strategy is to have no strategy at all. I want to hear more laughter. I can see Quinn blushing. But more importantly, he continues, "That person showed me something I didn't even realize I needed to learn." I pause and look directly at Quinn in the audience. I learned that work can be fun, that arguing can lead to productivity, and that sometimes the right person for my life is exactly the one I never thought I'd want. I realize where this is going, and my heart stops. "Cole," she whispers. "What am I doing?" I hear him say into the microphone. "Emma Thompson, could you come up here?" "No, sure thing." "I see that there are 300 people watching, Cole. I understand. Come up here with me." I stand up, shaking. I can feel the audience's applause as I walk up to the stage, wishing the ground would just swallow me whole. I hear her whisper my name, Cole, as we come together at the microphone. "If you're up to what I believe you are, then I am too." Right in front of everyone? Right there, in front of everyone. Am I losing my mind here? Absolutely. I turn to the audience. "Quinn, a year ago, you entered my life like a whirlwind of organized chaos. I saved contracts, created brilliant campaigns, and found myself laughing for the first time in years. I am frozen. I pull a small box from my pocket. But what matters even more than all of that is what he continues to say. I came to understand that love isn't about finding someone perfect. It's about discovering that special someone who makes my imperfections feel just right." I can hear the audience murmuring. I feel tears welling up in my eyes. I kneel down. I find that the problem lies in the fact that the stage has a carpet. I found myself on a slippery carpet. This carpet isn't designed for a nervous CEO in a tight suit to kneel on. My right knee slips. I try to steady myself, but the suit is too tight for my acrobatic moves. I slide, reach for the air, and find myself sitting on the floor with my legs stretched out and the box flying from my hand. I watch as the box rolls across the stage, finally coming to a stop at my feet. Complete silence. I see Cole sitting like a kid at recess, looking over at Quinn. "That wasn't part of the rehearsal," he says into the still working mic. I can hear the audience bursting into laughter. I pick up the box, sit beside him on the floor, and open it. I find it to be a beautiful, simple, perfect ring. "Ethan Brooks," she says, taking his microphone. "Are you really proposing to me while sitting on the floor?" "It seems that way, yes." "Can you believe there are 300 people watching?" 312. I took the time to count. "Do you really believe I would agree to something so ridiculous?" I smile at Cole. "I really hope so." I look at the ring, then at Cole, and finally at the crowd waiting. "I have to say, I really feel like sharing something right now." I say into the mic, "I believe this proposal fits us perfectly." "What do you mean by that?" "Awkward, surprising, and utterly flawed." "Are you saying yes?" "Ethan Brooks." "Absolutely, it's a yes from me." I can feel the audience erupting in applause and cheers around me. I watch as Cole slips the ring onto her finger right there on the stage, laughing like a fool. "Can I kiss my fiancé?" I ask into the mic. "I might. But I need to stand up first. I just can't do it. I find the suit to be too tight." I laugh and kiss him anyway, right there on the floor, while 312 people give us a standing ovation. 2 months later, I find myself at the wedding in the garden of the Palmer house, the very place where we truly got to know each other during that corporate party. I think Quinn looks beautiful in that simple dress. I see Cole looking sharp in a suit that allows for movement. I insisted on that. The officiant turns to me and asks, "Cole, do you take Quinn as your wife, to love and respect her, in sickness and in health, in wealth and in poverty?" "I certainly do. And I promise to make her coffee every day, even though I don't like coffee." I can't help but laugh. Do I take Cole as my husband, to love and respect him, in sickness and in health, in wealth and in poverty? I absolutely do. I'll definitely keep calling him a robot whenever he earns that title. I want to hear more laughter. I invite you to kiss. I kiss while Hamlet, the rescued pig who's now our unofficial wedding mascot, squeals with joy in the back of the garden. I feel Cole pulling me onto the dance floor at the reception, and I can't help but smile. "Sig Sarah Mitchell Hartman," he whispers. She corrects me saying, "Mr. Parker Hartman. I'm not taking your last name. I exist. But I see that you are too. Now I am part of the Parker Hartmans. Are we both in this together?" I find both to be interesting. I find it to be more equal that way. And if someone asks me why, I believe love is about sharing everything, even our last names. I twirl Quinn on the dance floor. "Do you know what's funny?" I say. "What do you mean?" "A year ago, if someone had told me that I would end up marrying my clumsy secretary, or rather my ex-clumsy secretary, I would have laughed and said it was impossible. What comes next? I believe it was inevitable. How do I know? You were exactly the chaos my life needed. You were precisely the iceberg I needed to melt. I dance as the sun sets over Seattle, laughing and kissing, proving that sometimes the best stories begin with the worst first impressions. And I believe that even robots can learn to love. It's even better when I find someone who is eager to teach me. What did I think of Emma Thompson and Ethan Brooks? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. How would you rate this story on a scale from 0 to 10? I hope you remember to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss out on more heartwarming stories like this one. I'll see you next time. The story of Emma Thompson and Ethan Brooks teaches a powerful lesson about self-acceptance, courage, and the power of authenticity in relationships. Emma, an awkward but passionate girl, overcomes prejudice and rigid barriers of the workplace to win the heart of Ethan, a cold CEO. Their journey shows that differences and imperfections are not obstacles, but can become the driving force for change and connection. Ethan learns to open up, admit vulnerability, and embrace imperfections, while Emma proves that talent and perseverance can break all boundaries. In modern American society, where the pressure for perfection and professionalism often prevails, this story reminds us to cherish individuality and authenticity. American workplace culture values efficiency, but sometimes ignores the value of creativity and the courage to be different. Emma teaches us that speaking up, even if it's not perfect, can lead to great opportunities, as she turned a bold idea into a successful campaign. Ethan, on the other hand, shows that even those in leadership positions need to learn to be open and accept help. In our own lives, we should encourage diversity of thought, create work environments where people feel safe to express themselves, and value authentic relationships that help balance work and personal life.